Yo, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Breakfast Tailgate brought to you by Coach I. Obviously, I'm the stat guy filling in. Let's see who we got in the building with us this morning. Hey, good morning, Ben G. Good morning, Ryman Lemon. Good morning to the First Lady, Shelby. Welcome, welcome. Coach I's running a little late this morning, so I jumped in here to get y'all started. Check in. Good morning. What's going on, my guy? Hope everybody's having a beautiful Tuesday so far. Hope y'all sipping on some good coffee or had a good breakfast this morning. What y'all want to? I know me and Coach are going to talk about some college football. Look, we what 5 days away now from Week 0 kicking off. Week 0 is right around the corner. What game y'all most looking forward to? In this opening week, I know most of our teams are off until Week 1. For me, it's definitely that Florida State Georgia Tech game. Coach I looking a little different today. Yeah, Benji, I'm filling in. Coach is on the way. Appreciate the good morning. Shelby, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Any game. Hey, I'm with you on that, chicken. I'm just ready for them to line it up. Ready for them to line it up. Let toe meet leather. Let's get this season started. It's been too long of an off season. SMU, Nevada. I hear you, Ben. I hear you. Man, I'll be honest. I think SMU with what they return on offense, they might have a little something for the ACC. I don't know if they got the defense for it, but they definitely offensively will be nice to watch in the ACC. I feel you on that, Shelby. You don't know who you hate more. I know it's Tech for you. You can be honest. We all know it's Georgia Tech for you. Anytime Georgia Tech loses, it's a good day for them dog fans. Yeah, trying to get it rolling, keep us moving along, keep us moving along. Little out of my element, but we doing it. Hey, go Knowles. I hear you, Ben Shaw. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I really think that Georgia Tech's offense is gonna be able to move the football with what they bring back daggum that almost entire offensive unit. So it should definitely be good. Yeah, those West Coast to East Coast games are going to be nuts. Same with the Big Ten, obviously, with SoCal and UCLA and Oregon and Washington having to go play the Rutgers of the world or going to the Midwest. The Big Ten, though, I kind of don't like theirs because they did home and away. So, like UCLA and USC don't have any back to back conference home games, I believe. I believe every week they're either at home and then the following week they're on the road. So I kind of wish they would have given them a chance to maybe play 2 or even 3 back to back. And then even if that meant hitting the road a couple weeks in a row back to back, at least kind of get into some consistency like you would with a normal schedule where you got a couple home games in a row. Yo, Shawty, good morning, my friend. Good morning. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Hey, man, we is holding it down for Coach till he pops in. Yeah, SMU's head coach, solid. I really that the SMU offense is going to be nice. Like I said, I mean, Florida State's defense is good. Clemson's defense is good. Vitek returns a ton on defense. I don't know how good they'll be, but they at least bring a bunch back and got some pieces out of the portal. So there's a couple decent defenses or good defenses in the ACC. But SMU definitely going to be able to score with the best of them when not playing one of the powers that be. The Who else we got? Because I know I think there's a total of 13 games. Week 0. There's probably only like 2 or 3 that are worth anything. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I really think the ACC is going to mess around, have like 3 or 4 teams that go 10-2, and it's going to be a mess to see who gets to play in that ACC championship game up in Charlotte. Vitek is a sleeper. North Carolina State went and got McCall from Coastal. They're a sleeper. There's my boy. What up, Coach?
What's up? What's up?
We
Yeah.
see you rolling.
All right. All right. I see we got some people in the comments already. What's going on, good people? What's going on? No Jake today?
No Jake yet today.
Okay. 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 No problem. No problem. What's going on? Let's see who we got. We got Benji in the house. What's going on? Hey, too much. You look a little pale today. Oh man, Shelby in the building. Chicken. Who else in the bar? My boy B Shaw in the building. Shawty, what's good with you, my guy? All right, all right, all right, man. So, man, what you was in here talking about with the people today, Stat?
We're just rolling off with week 0. What we looking forward to?
SMU, Nevada, baby.
Yeah, SMU Nevada. Obviously, you ain't gonna like it, but that Georgia Tech game.
Listen, yeah, I'm gonna watch it, and I had to say some nice stuff about Georgia Tech on the preview. If I was being objective, I felt a little dirty. But it'll be. I think it's gonna be a better game than Florida State fans think it's gonna be.
Oh, that's for sure.
Coach, what Benji say? What tattoo do you have on your arm on the edit? It looks like snake scale. Oh, it's a there it is. It's like a shield, a coat of armor. I got my badge on right now, but it's like a coat of armor. Benji says armor of God on it, so that's what it is. And then it's a little cartoon edit on the thumbnail. So what you looking forward to the first week, Stat?
Well, I really wasn't. I really didn't have a particular game, but after the comments on your preview video, man, I'm a rambling wreck. Come Saturday, I hope they blow Florida State the hell out.
It's like I want the Florida State fans to be right, man, but Jesus. SMU on looking forward to it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. SMU, actually, the SMU Nevada, ain't Nevada picked to win by like 20 years? No, SMU's picked to win by 20.
Yeah, I think they're favored by 19.5 or something like that, maybe even 20.5.
I mean, I know they returned some stuff. Is there something else we don't know about SMU that we need to know that they're a 20-point favorite over Nevada?
No, well, this ain't Nevada from 10 years ago. I think that's the main thing. This ain't your
Right.
Colin Kaepernick Nevada. They don't really. I think they don't even run that
Oh,
pistol set anymore that they used to run that triple option out of.
you know what? Did I send Jake? I thought I sent Jake this stuff. Let me see where he's at. What about so okay, so Georgia Tech is 11.5 point dogs to Florida State. What you think about that?
They're covering that. They're covering.
Oh,
They're at least going to cover the 11.5.
got it. Nevada. What about y'all? Benji says Nevada has a new coach. True,
Mm-hmm.
true, true, true. Talent. Chicken says talent. Okay. Ryman said SMU had has God on their side. Okay. That always
They at least,
helps.
they at least got the old money on their side. We know that for sure.
Right, right. I know, right? Because going into the ACC, they didn't even take the ACC's money. They're like, we don't want your money. We'll pay whatever we got to pay to get in. We just need your title. We don't even really want to be with y'all. We just need the title of the ACC. That's
Yeah,
really all it is. So,
trying not to get left behind.
right, right, right,
Yeah,
right,
they
right.
they raised like $150 million in like 28 hours or something like that to get into the ACC. I mean, just nuts. Like,
Right. It's like, you know what? Just take our money so we can get in the conference. We don't even really want to associate with y'all, but we just need the title so we can get one of these. We can try to get into the playoffs because they knew they wasn't going to be able to get into the playoffs in the Big 12. I guess I mean, not in the Big 12, as of wasn't they like,
group of five. They were a group
yeah,
of five.
group of five. Right, right, right. Group of five. Let's see. Says, will SMU get their wins back now that they're paid to play? Nah, nah.
Well, I think Reggie Bush getting his Heisman back was about as much as we could hope for in any of that.
Right,
That's
right.
about all that's happening on that front.
They have a booster who is nuts about. Hey, that's all it takes, man. Is that one guy that's got hundreds of millions that ain't got nothing to do with it. Nephew out there on the road, appreciate you getting in, my guy. SMU said, screw the dating. Just right, right. Like we don't need none of that foreplay, bro. Like, what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? So,
But wait, because they're
but
not for the first 3 years, they're not even taking a payout. And then I want to say for like the next 4 or 5 after that, they're taking a lower payout. Like they were like, we don't care about the money. We'll get money if we need money for something. Somebody will give us money. But like you said, it's all about the title.
right, Oklahoma State's got T. Boone Pickens. Hey, Phil Knight in Oregon. Hey, man, it's always good to have that one guy. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Walmart for Arkansas. Isn't that
Yeah,
where the Waltons are from? Arkansas, I'm
the
pretty sure.
Waltons. That's
Mhm.
Bentonville, Arkansas. I've been there. Me and Ben Shaw did a road trip to Arkansas to Fayetteville, where it's almost like you're on the highway, and all of a sudden, no exits for about 10 miles, and then all of a sudden, University of Arkansas next right. Oh man, but listen, man, S was it not SMU, but Big 12, they're talking about paying Clemson and Florida State, or at least these are rumors, the rumors, and to come to the Big 12 and they'll get a bigger cut than everybody else. You think that'll come to?
I mean, I don't see unless the teams of the Big 12 are worried about their conference folding. I just don't see why they would sign off on that unless it means even more money for them, right? But I don't see how they sign off on bringing in two teams to then replace the two teams they hated. Like they hated Texas and Oklahoma for that reason because they thought they deserved more and they were better than the rest of the conference, which probably true, but why would you bring in two other powers that are going to feel the same exact way?
Right. Right. It's like you replacing Texas, Oklahoma with two conferences, like, I mean, two powers, like you said, in Clemson, Florida State, that's gonna demand just as much respect, at the top of the conference, and leave everybody else as the others. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But I think they know without one, those brands. Like I said 2-3 years ago, once Oklahoma and Texas lead the Big 12, they're gonna become, what I'm saying, less thought about. Let's say it in a nice way. You know what I'm saying? Less thought about. So, right, they needed Texas and OU. That's why they're trying to so hard, in my eyes, anyway. And I could be wrong. I don't know a lot about these dealings trying to get Clemson and Florida State, but I think that's why they're trying so hard to get them, because they need marquee. Right, they need these marquee names, man. And right now, who they got? Marquee name Utah.
Maybe. I mean, you got Coach Prime. I mean, you got stuff that draws attention. I mean, you got Coach Prime in Colorado that'll draw eyes. But
Yeah,
as far as like a brand, they don't have a brand right now. Oklahoma State's probably the biggest brand, honestly.
right. Stat I heard is because the most popular team in Big 12 is Colorado. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they right now they are the most popular team for sure. Shout to say Eric Dickinson not giving that Thunderbird back to SMU. Right. Baylor doesn't play in the Sugar Bowl without them in. Baylor doesn't play in the Sugar Bowl without them in the conferences. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, um, so with that said, man, talking about the conference realignments, and you had Utah's coach, making the comments about the super conferences. How you think if they go to two super conferences? We talked about this a little bit last week, I think, or the week before. How you think that affects the fans?
I mean, they've already proven they don't care about the fans. They care about the money. Um, what it turns into is you look at some fan bases that are true fan bases and some good deserving football teams. that are going to get left on the outside looking in, because if it goes to two super conferences, it'll be the Big Ten and SEC, and you have the Vanderbilts, the Rutgers, the Northwesterns of the world that probably don't deserve to be in a super conference, but they got skin in the game. And so they're not going to go anywhere. And so because of that, I mean, that's three spots just with those three schools. Then you even look at like an Indiana or potentially Illinois. You could potentially have 5 to 7 slots taken in these two super conferences from schools that don't deserve it. Somebody's getting left on the outside looking in. Can't hear you, Coach.
Man, I'm having trouble. We're not gonna. I'm not a bad food. Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I gotta leave and come back out. I got some choppy audio.
All right. Well, yeah, while Coach I is getting his audio squared away, what do y'all think? Do y'all, if it's going to a super conference, do you think it stays with the SEC and Big Ten? Do you think they have a new formation that they try to branch out to? How do y'all see that playing out? Hey, the worst part is chicken. Coach I is the IT guy. That's what he does. So he'll get it squared away. Yeah, that McDonald's messing with him. So I'll let y'all know my what I would love to see happen. I know it's probably not realistic, but I would love to see them go to more of like what they do in the Premier League with soccer in England. And you have your upper echelon, your top 40 teams, and they play for some sort of they play for the national championship, and then maybe that next group of 65 teams or whatever, whether they play for a smaller title or whatever the case may be. But I think that that would fix a lot of that as far as forcing your better teams to play each other. So in that top group, maybe 11 out of your 12 games have to be against other teams within that group, and then that gives you one rivalry game for like for this point. So like a Clemson would definitely be in the top 40. They would still get to keep their rivalry game against South Carolina, who's currently not considered in that upper echelon. So I'd personally like to see them do something like that. But again, with how far in advance they like to do scheduling, I just don't think that that's realistic either. Because I mean, you're looking, they're scheduling games 10 and 12 years out. So you don't know where teams will be on the good scale that far down the road. But that's kind of my idea as far as the fix of what I would like to see with a super conference, but I just don't think it's realistic. Yeah. I'm wondering if they maybe go more regional, kind of like you this region gets so many teams, this region gets so many teams, and then you just get people from the south and stuff. That's a really good point going conferenceless.
Going conferenceless. How are you going to determine the playoffs?
So based off basically instead of conference have regions, you have regional representatives. So like northeast, southwest. And that way you keep,
Okay.
so instead of like a Clemson and Florida State going out and playing Big 12, they would be staying here instead of the California schools being in the Big 10. They'd still be
Right.
out west.
I got you. Oh no, I switched devices, Ryman. I was on my phone. I'm on my tablet now. Going to a conference. So that's what you're talking about. They'll go
Yeah.
the way of the BCS. Okay. Well, I'm interested to see if they go to super conferences, how many teams they actually do. You know what I'm saying? Like if they do like 48 teams, it's a lot of teams getting left out. I mean, but let's be honest, man. The G5 ain't really playing for the same thing that the P5, P4s are playing for, and some of the P4s ain't playing for the same thing. Like,
Right. But that's what I'm saying. There's gonna be some teams whenever that happens, there's gonna be some teams that maybe they feel like they're further along than a South Carolina or Vanderbilt or about half of the Big Ten. Unfortunately, they got skin in the game. They're already locked in. So they're on the outside looking in.
but they're gonna have to cut some of those teams if they go to like a 40, 48 or whatever. Even so. And
Maybe, but
so you thinking all those teams are gonna be cut from like the ACC and the Big 12?
yeah, unfortunately. You're outside looking in. You got to jump. You got to jump now, and that's why I think that Clemson and Florida State don't want to go to the Big 12 because I think they see the end game. They're like, we need now. Clemson and Florida State's a little different. They're probably safe regardless.
Yeah.
But as far as like a Vatech or North Carolina State, they're better off going to the SEC or Big 10 versus the Big 12 because the two of them could be caught on the outside looking in.
Right. Right. What's going on, stink ass cat? Appreciate you getting in with us this morning, man.
Now, my idea for what I would like to see, it's just schedule wise, I just think it's unrealistic, is to go to how they do in the Premier League and European soccer, and you have your top 40 or whatever play for the main national championship, and then like the next 65 play for another type of title, and then your top 5 or 10 teams relegate up, and your bottom 5 and 10 teams relegate down. The only problem with it is they do scheduling 10 years in advance. And
Well, so when you say they relegate, meaning that the bottom 5 go down to the lower division and the top 5 from the lower division come up, do they do that every year?
yeah.
But brands will kill that though. What if I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like what if a big brand is in the, I mean, like if you're like okay, let's say we go to super conferences, right? And whether it's 64 or 48, you're cutting out all the G5 now. It's just the top guys or whatever. And I don't know, Virginia. You think Virginia? Well, they're not a real big brand. NC State. Let's just say NC State's bottom 5 for some reason. I mean, I get what you're saying, but Texas or LSU or Mississippi State, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not
Right.
going down to the bottom division.
But I mean, but with that being said, if you talk about it just being 40, now if it's 48 or 65, then for sure. But right now, I would have to look. If it's 48, I think South Carolina starts in the lower division.
Maybe. That's what I was going to ask. Ryman says 64, kind of like basketball, 64. Like currently, Ryman, there's 67 Power 4 teams plus Notre Dame. What 3 to 4 teams are you leaving out?
So for me, Northwestern's gone, Vandy's gone, and Virginia's gone. Those are the 3 big ones off the top of my head. That
You kicking Virginia for Duke?
Yeah, Duke's way better at football than Virginia. Has been the last 5 or 6 years.
I guess Duke. I guess they had 1 year. He had 1 year. They about the same to me.
What have you done for me? What
I
have you
mean,
done for me recently?
Right. I'm interested, like, to see like the last 3 to 5 years who's had the better years. I know they probably had, because of last year, they probably definitely had more than Vandy. Ben said way better. Right. I'm like, I don't know about way better. Like they had the 1 year, dog. Vandy and the service schools. Service schools aren't P4. So
yeah.
Can't get rid of them. They're already in the lower division. That's what I'm saying. And it like people say Vandy right off top. What has Northwestern done? What has Rutgers done?
Yeah. No, for me, Northwestern, Rutgers, Illinois, Indiana, they're all in the boat. They're gonna be fighting for a spot.
What's going on, Lance B? Appreciate you getting in with us, man.
I
We were
could also
asking, we're asking the viewers, if we go down to a 64 team super conference, what 3 to 4 teams get left out? Because there's currently 67, and then you add Notre Dame, that makes 68. So what 4 teams would get left out? They said Northwestern building a new stadium. They better get some dubs with that new stadium.
I could see a team like UCF being in trouble. New to the game, new to the Power 5, Power 4 level. I could see them being somebody that could be in trouble.
Right. They're right. Texas is definitely not getting left out. Much as you may hate them, that's like me saying Florida's not getting left out.
Somebody like SMU is going to be safe because they got the money. They're going to be able to, or they're going to be able to line the pockets of whoever they need to line to keep their name above the list, above the bottom line.
Hey man, we looking at performance, but who knows? The SEC may fight for Vandy. They're a charter member, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But so I think it would be hard regardless, but it gets harder if there's only like 48 teams. Now the whole new Big 12 in trouble. It said ain't none of them safe. None of them. Not Dion and the Buffs, not Utah, not Oklahoma State. Listen. Oh, you're right. I didn't even count them. So technically, there's 70 top Division One teams stink ass. Good call. Because so if you go down to 64, you have to include them because I don't know what they're considered, but they're major Division One. I don't know if are we really saying that the Pac-12 is still a conference with 2 teams?
No, because they're competing in the West Coast Conference for everything else.
Yeah, there will only be 5 teams that will win natties for the next. Oh yeah, well when it comes to talking about winning natties, I mean that's a different conversation. But when you're talking about going to 2 super conferences, I mean regardless whether it's 2 super conferences, Power 5, Power 4, but when we talk about super conferences, the ability to win a natty, I don't think that's going to play a part in it. But I agree that the same 4 to 5 teams are going to win natties over the next 7 years. So, what about the Pac-2? That's right. That's their Division One. That's what I'm saying. It's they count in that. So now you add that's 8. That's 70 teams that you got to get. So it's still 6 teams that you got to get down to 64. If you go down to 64, like I said, Cal Whittingham and Utah said it was either going to be like 48 or 60. Like Stat Guy said earlier, like a team like those UCFs, and maybe I don't think South Carolina will be in trouble, but I mean, are you looking at 48 teams?
Trouble.
24 teams in each? Ooh, because currently there's 16 teams in the SEC. There's 18 in the Big Ten just alone. So that's 34 teams, even if you let everybody in. What's going on, Bishop Franks? Appreciate you getting in, my guy. Did they officially join the Mountain West, B-Shaw, Oregon State and Washington State? I know they're trying to get some future games with those guys, but I didn't know they officially joined the conference though. They just had the Pac-2 conference. They're looking to join the Canadian. Well, y'all wild, but y'all ain't showing Oregon State, Washington State no respect, boy.
But I think the problem with the 2 of them, they've already been left on the outside looking in. They'll do it to them again. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think the 2 of them are for sure probably cut if it goes down to 64 and you're looking at cutting 6 teams. I think those 2 are easy, and it's the next 4.
Okay. So what's you said you had a crazy idea on how to do the super conferences.
And that was my thing. It's going to like the Premier League and doing the relegation thing. But the problem with that is the scheduling of it. would just be absolutely nuts. And then as well, like say for some reason Georgia falls off the bus and goes 6-6, and you're gonna take Georgia out of the getting to play for a natty. I mean,
no, I think the bottom 5, those would be those teams going like 3-9. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And if you're a school in the last if you're a school in the last 20 years that's gone 3-9, you may be one of those schools that's could be on the chopping block.
Well, that's why, like I said, if it's only a top 40, I promise you, South Carolina's not in, not year
Right.
one, like not year one. Where unfortunately, it's just not, and so that hurts. But it's just the lay of the land. It's just being honest with where you are as a program, and that's the thing. Maybe some fan bases would be like, okay, we can win something. Like if they give the lower tier a cool name or whatever. Like if they don't just say, oh, the best of the rest title or whatever, but if they actually do something catchy and market that as well, then maybe it's something to play for.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to have to go 10 or 2 or better to win that joint. Like, you're still going to have a really good season.
Ooh, I don't know about that one, Benji. I don't think TCU's making it. That's just off the top of my head, but I don't think TCU's making it. Like if we go down, let's just say, because all the conferences are at least 16 teams, at least 16 teams, and if let's just say they did it fairly, which they won't, and they took the best 10 from each Power 4 conference to make up those top 40, would you take TCU out of the Big 12? I think they on the edge. I think you look at teams like Houston, you see the newly lamented Big 12, you know what I'm saying? So the Houston, Cincinnati, UCF, and then you make a case, then you make an argument, either you keep TCU or you keep Baylor. It's kind of like back in the championship. What year was that when they both went like one loss and beat each other each time? But Rice is in the Big 12. Rice ain't in the Big 12 either.
They might be in the Big 12 now. That joint changed so much.
Well, if Rice is in the Big 12, those are your 4 that you drop from the Big 12. Rice, Houston, UCF, and Cincy. So, okay. And who you dropping from the SEC? Vandy, Mississippi State, SC. And who else? Kentucky. But they win eight games a year.
You would have to drop what, 6 from the SEC to get down to 10?
6 from the SEC. Tell me what 6 you dropping.
Vandy, Mississippi State. Missouri, A&M. And Kentucky, South Carolina. South Carolina ain't making no top 40, dog. No matter how unless the criteria is the SEC gets all their teams in, South Carolina ain't making no top 40, dog.
Chicken says Texas. I know y'all don't want Texas in. Texas is in. I don't care how they slice it.
The brand's too big. The brand is too big.
Right. Let's see what we got here.
Oh, wait. Actually, I could make a case.
Benji says Rice is American, he thinks. So if we go back to the Big 12, that would end up leaving Texas Tech, right? So then you'd have to, I think K-State would be good but I don't know. But I think you're right, Benji. I think Texas Tech, not BYU. Oh, BYU's in the Big 12.
Mm-hmm.
They probably get dropped.
Or even potentially West Virginia.
But hold on. There's 16 teams or 17 in the Big 12. 16
now. Yeah,
so you have to drop 6. So you drop Houston, Cincy, BYU. That's 3. UCF, that's 4. And then you have to choose 2 between Texas Tech, Baylor, West Virginia, and TCU. You got to choose 2 of those. Ooh.
I'm probably going. TCU and Texas Tech.
I can see that. All right, Bishop says first team, 7 outright team playoff bids. Who's your teams? After the first 5, the auto bids, who's the next 7? If we're talking this year, let's see. I think Georgia's winning the SEC, so they're in. I think Clemson's winning the ACC, so they're in. I think Ohio State's going to win the Big Ten, they're in. And I'm going to go the Big 12. That's the hard one. So, because I got to take these guys off the list. I'm going to say Boise State's going to be the G5 for the auto bid. Big 12, let's just go with K-State. Let's just go with K-State. So the next 7, we're probably going to get a runner-up from the Big 12 or the ACC. And I'm going to go with the runner-up from the ACC, which I think will be Miami. So that's one of those 7, Bishop. Notre Dame, that's 2 of those 7. And then we got 5 more, so I think 3 more get in from whoever the runner-up, I think Ole Miss gets in from the SEC. I think Texas gets in from the SEC, and I think Alabama gets in. So Georgia, Alabama, Texas, and Ole Miss from the SEC. From the Big Ten, I got Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. Those are the 7. So that's the field. I don't know what order, Bishop, but that's the field I got. So from the Big 12, you got K-State. From the ACC, you got Clemson and Miami. From the SEC, you got Georgia, Texas, Bama, Ole Miss. And from the Big Ten, I got Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State. Who you got, Stat?
So I got from the SEC, I'm right there with you. Georgia, Bama, Texas, Ole Miss. From the Big Ten, I have Oregon winning the conference. And then I'm taking Ohio State, Penn State as well. So that's 7. Notre Dame makes 8. Whoever the group of 5 makes 9. I have Vatech and NC State coming out of the ACC. Okay. And then Kansas State out of the Big 12.
Okay. So, all right, people in the chat, what 2 teams are coming out of the ACC in your opinion? In this year, we're talking about this year for the playoffs. What 2 teams are coming out of the ACC? You're right, Benji. When we was talking about cutting teams, Benji said it's getting dicey. Right. And listen, if it goes down to 48, by the way, it will get very dicey for people. All right, BNG's got Miami. Give me one more team. Who one more team from the ACC, Benji? So you got Miami. I got Miami and Clemson. Stat guy has Virginia Tech and NC State. So we need 2 teams from the ACC for the playoffs this year. We need 4 from the SEC, 3 from the Big Ten, Notre Dame, and then 1 from the Big 12. All right, Vodtech, he's laughing at you. Listen, I think they're gonna spoil some people's chances. Like, I think Florida State has to play Virginia Tech, if I'm not mistaken, but I think Virginia Tech's gonna definitely beat some people. All right, Bishop's going with Miami and Virginia Tech out of the ACC. I can see. Okay. Lance going with Clemson, Miami. All right, that's where I'm going. I'm going Clemson. I think that's the championship and championship game. Miami and long shot Cinderella Duke. If Manny Diaz will win Coach of the Year if that happens, Ryman. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It says I can see them doing well, but only 2 losses. Well, this is yeah, you're right. Because if they get that second team, they would probably have to have 2 losses. All right, so what about let's see, Malik Murphy led Duke. Yeah, Mars getting in the building. What's going on, Mars? Miami and who else, Mars Jam? Give me a second team from the ACC. I like Malik Murphy at Duke. I just don't trust Manny Diaz and the rest of the talent. I get it. They had a good year last year, but let's not. I don't think they were stacking talent there to replace guys. So Yeah, Rice was a part of the Southwest Conference. Yeah. All right, so we need 3 Big Ten teams. Is Michigan gonna get in? It's up. Mars said Miami. Look at Mars with the Florida rivalry. Miami and Florida State playing twice this year.
I like
Got
it.
it. Or do they play? Yeah. They would have to
Mhm.
play twice. Yeah. Right. I'm not a big Manny Diaz head coach fan. I'm a Manny Diaz defensive coordinator fan, though. Um, Florida State is hot about last season. Always, dog. You should see the comments from the Florida State Georgia Tech game. They think I had a guy tell me that there was no drop off from Jordan Travis to DJU. He said it. He typed it up and he hit send, and it's in the comments. He said there's no drop off, is what he said. All right, so Chicken gets in with his Big Ten prediction. Oregon, Ohio State, and Iowa. I actually like that, Chicken. I mean, Iowa has a cake schedule, by the way. Um, okay, I can see that.
And a new offensive coordinator that's actually going to attempt to score points.
Yeah, but how long is? I don't know if it's going to be immediate that the success is there. But listen, they had a trash offense last year and made the Big Ten championship. So, so I mean, if they make any improvement at all, who else got big? Okay, we got a second vote for the same 3. Got it. Give me one more, Ryman. Michigan and Penn State. I can see Michigan. I think Michigan have a good defense. I mean, last year I didn't think their offense was super dynamic. I just thought they was able to run the ball and stop people. So maybe some of the same. Or Ohio State or Oregon for your third, Ryman. I'm with you, Mars. That's what I tried to say. I was like, and Stat Guy said the same thing. Said if you're saying there's no drop off between DJU and Jordan Travis, you're really saying more about Jordan Travis than you are DJU. So, Ryman, you got Michigan and Penn State. Who's your third? All right. We got the rivalry, Michigan, Ohio State making it, and Oregon making it in. I'm with that. I'm trying to give James Franklin a little love this year and say he's gonna beat Ohio State. He doesn't have to play Michigan unless they play in the Big Ten championship. You still need one, Ryman.
He needs to do something. He can end up on that hot seat.
Franklin. Yeah. I don't think a third would be worthy, but the media will push Ohio State. They always do. I think Ohio State, they probably ain't going to lose one game. I don't know if you're going to be able to deny them. But yeah, I get it. They will. So you got Michigan, Penn State. Yeah, because reason why I say it now, if they only get 2 in, Ryan, that means like Big 12 has to get 2 in, I guess. But I don't see them putting in 2 Big 12 teams over 3 Big 10 teams. But I could be wrong. So in the Big 12, I got Utah. K-State. Who do you have, Stat?
I took K-State to win the conference.
All right. Who do y'all have in the Big?
I was gonna say. I mean, there is potential that the Big 12 runner-up has a better resume than the ACC runner-up, and they get 2 instead of 1.
Okay. I think Nebraska will have a decent year. I'm calling Nebraska beating Ohio State in the upset. Ryman is on the record. True freshman Dylan Raiola takes the Cornhuskers to beat Ohio State. Franklin better hope PSU cracks that group in the Big. Yes, because if you can't make it with more slots available, then I mean, what are we looking at for Franklin? I think the Big 12, though, back to the Big 12, I think they have more teams that can win it than any other conference. You know what I'm saying? So.
Mm-hmm.
Or LSU gets in with Nussmeier. You think? Oh, you saying if the you saying if the Big 10 only gets 2 teams, the SEC gets 5 teams. I don't know. I want to see what their defense look like. Their defense was their defense was putrid last year, and I don't think you just turn it around. While they may have talent, they just don't turn it around like that. But I could be wrong. So. He said, "Yeah, Biz said, yeah. Why won't it put this one up? It won't let me put up. Jordan Travis played reckless, never trusted him. So you saying there ain't no drop off, Shawty? Is that what you saying too? You saying there ain't no drop off between him and DJU? Ryman says KSU champ, OSU runner-up. Kansas ends the season looking like Halt. Okay. I can get with that. I said Oklahoma State makes the championship, but a lot of people. I said they make it. I don't know if they win it, but yeah, I can see that.
I could see too. I worry. I think the Big 12 is going to just kind of beat each other up because I think there's so many teams that can win it. But it wouldn't surprise me to see the Big 12 get two teams in between like Kansas State, Utah, Arizona, Oklahoma State. Maybe two of those four could crack the top 12.
My guy talking sauce. What's going on, my man? Says appreciate you getting in. It says Clemson and NC State from the ACC. I can see it because Stat, you had NC State and Virginia Tech, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Steve Lees, what's going on, man? I appreciate you getting in there. He says, where does Iowa State fall in there? Two things. If we're talking 64 teams, Iowa State makes it in the super conferences. If we're talking 48 teams, I think Iowa State. It depends. If they're going to be, or 48 teams, they make it. 40 teams, if they're fair and get 10 from each conference, Iowa State makes it. But if they not fair, then Iowa State doesn't make it. But as far as the Big 12 contenders, I think Iowa State. Listen, I think there's only about 4 to 5 teams maybe that does maybe. Yeah, I think like the bottom 6 teams in the Big 12 don't have a shot at making it. Like the Houston, I don't think has a shot to win it. I don't think Cincinnati has a shot to win it. I don't think BYU has a shot to win it. I wouldn't take TCU or Baylor to win it or Texas Tech. Like outside of that, like
open season.
I think you can make a case. I think Iowa State brings back, ain't that Rocco Beck at quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and they're going to play defense.
Right. So I think you can make a case for them. Just like you can make a case for Kansas with Jason, with Daniels and Colorado, if everything goes right, if the offensive line is actually good and upright, right. You got one of the best defenses, right? So Arizona, I don't think Arizona State can win it. Let me take that back. I don't think they can win it. So that put it like 17. So surprisingly good team, but not playing for top 3 in the Big 12 would be Arizona because of the coaching change, Ryman. Big 12, Big 10, Ohio State, Oregon, USC. First vote for USC. Got it. Mars, you saying Kansas State or West Virginia is going to win the Big 12? Is that what you're saying? I can see Kansas State. You saying West Virginia going to surprise some folks? So, well, Stat, you know it. Started a new job this week, people. So we're going to have to end it a little early today. But I appreciate everybody getting in, man. Everybody for joining in. We'll try to be back on here on Thursday at 10. We appreciate everything y'all do. Appreciate y'all coming in and hanging with us for a little bit. Me and Stat, Stat will be at work on Thursday, so hopefully we'll have our guy Jake back. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you next time.